everyone, Dr. Rob here. Welcome to another Monday 10-minute training. Today, I have something new for you, a new protocol we've been working on for a little while now that seems to be working really well. And this is designed specifically for people that are EMF sensitive, even just a little bit of sensitivity with the vagus nerve stimulation. So what does this mean? So EMF sensitive individuals, we talk about this a lot, could be people that find that when they're around electronics, or so for example, they're in front of their computer or they use their phone or they're in a big city, they feel worse. And to the point sometimes where they can't even touch these devices and these pieces of equipment. And so, of course, that brings into the equation some issues with people that are EMF sensitive using the microcurrent, which is an electronic device. This is because their cells are kind of in this chaotic state where they're reacting to any level of energy as bad. So how do we go about fixing that? Well, we have a bunch of protocols we do to help correct that in general. But even so, some of the really worst cases, which are very, very rare, will struggle to even do something as simple as vagus nerve stimulation, meaning that they're unable to reset their nervous system. So with this in mind and with anxiety at the kind of like top of my mind recently with some of the things we've been doing here, I started playing around with different protocols and techniques that might work on the vagus nerve. Despite doing this for a while, I wasn't able to find a frequency that worked better than 7 to 12 hertz, which makes sense. You know, I did my dissertation on this, and the frequency being able to interface with the brain and bring it into that alpha range, that's a big part of this. It calms the body, it reduces stress and anxiety. But of course, it has that anti-inflammatory effect as well. Something that we don't want to miss out on because it is something that can really help anyone with any autoimmune or pain condition resolve their issue. So, looking into this kind of brought to my attention one of our older, lesser used protocols involving the brush electrode. If you caught my accessory video a few weeks ago, we talked about how the brush electrode can be used to comb the arms and that people do that with 7 to 12 hertz for anxiety. So in a meeting that I was in being distracted, I'm sitting here and I'm brushing my arms and just really enjoying the experience. It's very relaxing, gentle pressure, right? And then I suddenly thought, what if I were to brush my vagus nerve? And, you know, the interesting thing is I was pretty sure in that moment that I was getting the vagal nerve stimulation without the aggressive flutter and still feeling those effects. But I needed to test it a bit more, so we had our treatment coordinators start working on it, family and friends as well, and it was interesting to see that people were still seeming to get those results, even if it was harder to feel it. But even those that are EMF sensitive seem to be able to actually tolerate this right out of the box. So interesting. And that's what I wanted to share with you today. It won't necessarily replace vagus nerve stimulation in the traditional way, but if it's something that you've been doing and you've been struggling with for a little while now, well, you have a tool finally that's going to enable you to actually get in there and access the vagus nerve. So why don't we jump on in and I'll share my screen and we'll go through the actual protocols so that anyone watching is able to do this right away. So here we go. Okay, so hopefully you can see that there. So I like to provide these visuals. I know it's been a big piece of the feedback as people like to have something they can take a screenshot of or make notes while I'm talking. So how does this one work? So it's pretty much the same as standard vagus nerve stimulation, except for the attachment and the application being mobile. So you're going to set the device to 7 to 12 hertz with the brush electrode attached. The brush, because it's got such thin little electrode tips, it really spreads the current across all of those, and that makes it like gentler, I suppose. So what you're going to do is you're going to adjust the power to a comfortable level or to maximum on the vagus nerve on the left side. So you feel for your carotid artery, same kind of thing. You're just looking for the general location. And then you're going to place the electrode on there and increase that power. Now, for me and for many others as well, I've had to get to 250. I've had to max out that power and I might barely feel it. But even if you're not feeling it initially, don't worry about it. It's a very low current, but that's what makes this work so well. The spread out delivery system and the low current is going to make a big difference here for people that are EMF sensitive. Okay, so then you're going to place, starting at the jawline, right above where you found the vagus nerve, and you're going to brush down to the base of the neck. Once you've done this, you're going to lift it up, return to the neck again, to the jawline again, and brush down again. And we're going to repeat this 30 times. Seems like a lot, but it goes really fast. And I'll kind of demonstrate this for you now. I'll stop sharing my screen. Remember, you'll be able to replay this video if you need it. Okay, so here I've got my evolution and I've got my brush electrode. I'm going to turn my evolution on. Automatically, it defaults to 7 to 12 hertz, which is why I like this for vagus nerve. Okay, so then I'm going to feel on the left side of my body for that carotid artery. So I'm just feeling for a pulse. There it is. Okay. So once I've got this sorted out, I'm going to place the electrode just above it, like so. And I'm going to take my power button and I'm going to hold it down on the device. Okay. So press firmly and hold. Now I have to get the power to a point where I can feel it, which actually is possibly coming on soon. There we go. I can start to feel it now. So I've got it to a comfortable level. It's not uncomfortable. So I'm going to be able to start using it. Now, so the jawline, meaning right underneath the jaw here. So you place the brush. Of course, this works whether you have facial hair or not. And then you're going to go down to the base of the neck. Just do a sweep, lift up, back here, sweep, lift up, and just kind of end up gently brushing down the vagus nerve. So you see, I'm already at like 5 or 6 strokes. You can kind of do this longer if you want. And you want to make sure that comfortable power level exists. Try and bring it all the way down. As with all vagus nerve stimulation, we recommend combining this with deep breathing, being calm and relaxed, to try and help push your body into that state. Let's pull up the slide one more time, just so we finish on that there for people to see. So that's it. It's simple. It uses an electrode that most people with an evolution are going to have anyway. Pinnacle the same. And it enables you to potentially do vagus nerve on people that just don't like the feeling, that are more sensitive, that are younger children. You know, I've seen that be a good option as well, because it does give them, it's less pressure. It's just a generally more comfortable experience. One thing I will say is that this could be repeated on the other side if necessary, same as we normally would for migraines and headaches and things like that. Or for the polyvagal theory, I think it could apply. This is still in its infancy, but it appears to be an incredibly risk-free protocol with some pretty awesome benefits attached if people have been unable to do other vagus nerve, or if they're just looking for a change. This is going to be an option for you there. So I'd love to hear what you think. I'd love to hear your experiences. You know, we're looking for feedback on this as per usual. It's pretty tried and tested in the background, but it'll be interesting to see everyone's experiences, especially those that are EMF sensitive and that do struggle usually doing things like vagus nerve stimulation. Okay, everyone. So thank you again for joining me today. And I look forward to seeing you next week for another Monday 10-minute training. Take care.